Welcome to the fourth episode of Bognago Work Series. Today we're going to show you the pizza oven.
Hi, I'm Felix from Austria. I am the guy that builds the pizza oven. I stayed in Bognago for the whole summer. Now I am currently in Mexico.
Wait.
Traveling through Baja California. I chose to come to Bognago because I really wanted to experience what it would be like to be in a very remote place. So yeah, I just thought, let's see how it is. I actually planned to just stay for about a month, but ended up staying about 4 months, like the whole summer. I am a trained stove fitter, so building a pizza oven was the perfect project for me, and it was the main project that I did there. I also repaired some of the small ovens there, did some other building projects, but yeah, the pizza oven was a great thing to build. I also had a few helpers, which were greatly appreciated, since at some point I also had some problems with my wrists, and I would have taken ages to do everything alone. Sadly, I was not able to eat any pizzas or bread made in the pizza oven, since I had a flight to catch to the US to continue traveling here in America. I will definitely come back at some point, firstly to eat some pizza and also to see how the place evolved, to meet the people again, because it's a beautiful community and a beautiful place.
And thank you very much, Felix from Mexico. Now we are back live in Bognago, Italy. And here is our wonderful pizza oven. It took us a really long time to make this pizza oven, mainly for organizational reasons. One of the biggest challenges was getting all the materials that we needed and enough of them all together up here. And it was a bigger logistical challenge than it sounds, because we are in a remote location. So it happened quite a few times that we did trips to go and find materials, also specific materials that we couldn't get from close by. We realized when we wanted to start working that we didn't have enough of something, which was frustrating. The weather also played a really big role, because even though it was summer, we did have periods of rain. We weren't able to work outside during that period. This is a earth oven, or a clay oven, as some people know it. It's made of several different layers. Each layer has a different combination and configuration of materials that we use to make it, which is clay, also some fireproof clay for the inside layer, straw, subsoil that we dug from ourselves here, a little bit of gravel, sand. This structure down here that actually holds the oven is made of bricks, so some normal bricks. There's also some fireproof bricks where it was needed, and some concrete. We have a big slab of granite here. So the soil that we actually have here in Bognago is not full of clay, so we couldn't find all the clay that we wanted to just here. So we actually had to buy the clay from a specific shop, which was also not close by in the area. There was also a lot of different volunteers who helped out making this. First of all, thank you again to you guys for helping us. It was also a challenge to have so many people coming and going, and to have to be able to organize in an effective way and in a smooth way things continuing. Another really big challenge was making the chimney part here, because we had to shape all of this by hand, and this part here is very delicate, and because we had to get the shape of this correctly, we actually did a mistake the first time that we made it. We used some old aluminium cans to have like a form to shape the clay around it, but the clay dried and the aluminium cans got stuck, and we were trying to get them out for an entire day, and we did a lot of very innovative and creative things to try and get them out, but it was impossible. So some things had to be broken, and then in the second round we found this old pipe here, which is an old oven pipe, so it was actually made for that to withstand heat. So we just decided to put that directly inside, and then the clay around it, which it just made more sense. Once we actually had all the materials that we needed to make this oven, it was a pretty fast process with the help of everybody. Like I said, one of the longest processes was actually gathering all the materials that we needed, and building the base was a very long process as well, because as you can see, it's actually very precise, and the floor that it's on is actually not level, and we had to make sure that it is level So that took a long time to figure out exactly how to place things, and there was a lot of cutting of bricks to get them on the right height, which were all on different heights, and to get them in the right shape to be able to support this structure on top. A lot of work that went into this oven was pretty heavy work, like digging for subsoil, which can sometimes be found only 2 meters deep under the start of the earth, digging for gravel, hauling and cutting all the bricks and all these giant slabs of granite as well. But there was also some really fun parts. We got to mix the clay mixture and the straw mixture with our feet. I think it was a pretty fun process for everybody. And the actual molding and the shaping of the structure, I think, was a really satisfying process for the people who were doing it as well. Even though this oven is made of natural materials, it is actually really sturdy, but we still have to protect it in the winter when we're going to have a lot more rain and snow to make sure that it doesn't get weathered away prematurely. Right now, temporarily, this weird thing you see behind me is what we've been using as a rain cover, but we have the future idea for a more permanent solution to actually use old beer bottles that we've been recycling to make a kind of shell on the outside of this to cover it, which will also act as a kind of insulation layer and hopefully also look very pretty. And hopefully it would protect the oven well enough from snow and rain. We finally could start using the pizza oven to actually make some food a couple weeks ago. We've been having several pizza parties already since then. Some of you might have seen the previous reel that we posted. If you haven't, go check it out because it was a lot of fun. Apart from pizzas, we are also going to start experimenting with baking our own bread, making some cakes, pies, things like that. I'm personally really excited to start to be able to learn how to make my own bread because I don't really know much about it. So if anybody out there has a sourdough starter, reach out to us. Thank you for watching. If you like pizza, don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on all our channels.